hello to the Portofino M from Novitec. We've done a couple of special things on this car that a lot of people think is a bit of the soft side, but boy oh boy, she's become quite a bit raucous at the moment. It starts, of course, with this lovely all-new Novitec carbon fiber lip. Then for the air inserts over here, the frame's also in carbon fiber. On your bonnet, breaking that wave of white with a couple of gills. Then if you look at the car from the side, the whole stance has changed. It's become a bit more bulky, a bit more obnoxious in a way, which is a good thing. Love these NF10 again. They are sort of a glossy black over here. You can choose from a range of colors. If you want to see which colors, then have a look on our website www.novitecgroup.com, and you can see all the various components that you can get for your Portofino M. Really nice and snug, these wheels fitting into that wheel arch. Because the car rides low on a sport suspension, and for the Portofino M, I feel that is an imperative thing because it was just looking a little bit too high. Good height still in there, a lot of comfort, which is what the Portofino M is also about. But I think just looks stunning with these NF10 center lock look rims. And then the hot air that gets accumulated from the brakes and the tires get chased through this vent over here and this insert on the mirror, breaking the white, and that is in carbon fiber as well. The side skirts on this car, totally new, but not just from an optical point of view. They also functional. They have a slit over here with a slight indentation, and that air exits then at the bottom, at the rear as well. Again, just having a look at this NF10 filling up that wheel arch, looking stunning. And then of course, this is really where the party starts with all of these cars at the back. Really gets so exciting with that diffuser at the back, housing the massive 4 exhaust tail tips on this car, bulging out there, really with a statement. You're going to hear that just in a second. This car is raucously loud. It's not just what's happening at the back. We'll talk about that in a second, but just from a look point of view, how do you guys love this little lip here at the top? Just such a gorgeous addition, making that look complete at the back. In white, what do you guys think about a white Ferrari? Are you some of those who say a Ferrari has to be red, a Lamborghini has to be... What color does a Lamborghini have to be? I don't know. Let me know what you think about the specs on this car. How do you like the optics? And would you ever drive a Portofino M? What about a Novitec version? Let us know down in the comments. Now, let's get back to the exhaust. It's a raucous thing, this, because you have the engine up front, that 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 engine that we know very well, albeit it's a little bit different than this car. It's almost like it's just taken up a very different personality. But the good thing is, you have so much space from the engine all the way to the rear of the car with the exit of the tailpipes in order to work on the sound. Around about 4 meters, and that really is why one can make such good sound over a small distance, as opposed to the engine being at the back and you only have about that much. So we've got in here cat replacement pipes. Then it's got an X pipe and it is flap actuated. This Portofino M has to be the loudest Portofino M I've ever heard in my entire life. I think it's about time to go and see what this Portofino M sounds and feels like on the road with a sport suspension, riding a lot lower now than in standard form. You can see the video which we made last time, it's quite high up. And then of course, also the fact that it has this lovely exhaust system. Now, this car per se, the owner decided not to install one of the performance packages. I'm not sure why, but it's also interesting just to see how the behavior of the car has changed now with the suspension setup and just with the exhaust. But if you want to up the performance on your Portofino M, then I would encourage you to check out on our website. There are numerous stages of our N-Tronic plug-and-play system with which you can upgrade the power and personality of your Portofino M. But without further ado, you know the lovely thing about this car? You just don't expect it. It's different having driven it in standard form. You could go and watch the video on our YouTube channel, Novitec Group. But then after we've done the works on it, you're kind of asking yourself the question, what were you trying to achieve? What was the objective of adding all the components to the car? What did you want it to be like in the end? Because what ended up coming out is a little bit on the bonkers side, to be honest. And contrary to how we normally film because of a thunderstorm today, we did all the other shots, and the driving experience is the very last shot, which means I've ridden passenger in this car today. And I've done drive-by shots. And I've heard a lot from the outside, and I can swear to you by every grain in my body that this is ridiculous. It's not ridiculous in power, that's a whole different story. With the top of the range performance package in this Portofino M, you've got 704 horsepower and 882 Newton meters of torque, which is a fair bit, to be honest with you. It scares you a little bit because this is not an F8. This wasn't meant to be something that's going super quick and be agile and all that. This is meant to be, you know, a cruiser. You kind of get my point. As I said, not the most power I've ever felt in a Ferrari, especially not after having driven the SF90 from Novitec. And if you have not seen that film, go and watch it, because that car is ballistic. It's ridiculous, and the way that the car does it. But this is not the SF90 video, this is the Portofino M, or shall I say NM, because it's been Novitec. Ridiculous car. Now we're going to go on the very same little road that we did when we drove this car the very first time, and it scared me on that corner because it just let go, because it was cold and the tires weren't warmed up, and of course the car was riding so high it looked like it had off-road tendencies. But now with the Novitec suspension sitting so snug onto the road, it's totally transformed the personality, at least on an aesthetic point of view, of this Portofino M. You almost have to take off the Portofino M sticker because it's something very, very different. And now we're in the twisty bits. We're going to experience exactly that. The fact that this car is so not behaving like a sort of cruisy, big old Ferrari. You can sense that there's quite a bit of weight. You can sense that the engine is in the front and that the drive is going to the rear tires. And that's an exciting thing, because I think it could be a lot of fun, especially in the wet, and getting the tail to come out. It's a different car. It just really is. The way the power is there, the fact that it now has sport cats, a cross pipe, and then, well, it doesn't really have a rear muffler because Ferrari never bothered putting one in there. And that's so awesome because the sound is now mental, as you are about to hear. I'm feeling so sorry for these folks. And then obviously the whole car has been programmed to be a little bit different. It's not meant to scream up there. It's got all the torque down here at the bottom. You can just feel the weight turn in, lift off. And the whole car is just dancing around like this. It is quite a lot of fun. It's not a precision tool, it's not a precision track tool, and none of the above apply. But golly, I think it's a lot of fun to say. All right, let's do a launch control. It's not nearly as quick as an SF90, not even close, and it's not supposed to be. It doesn't have the agility that you can get from the F8, but it doesn't matter. It's in a league of its own, and with that noise, you can't get that kind of noise out of any of those other rear-wheel mid-engine cars, because there's no space to work in the exhaust. But here you got 4 meters to work your charm, and they have made an exceptional noise coming from this twin turbocharged 4-liter V8 engine. There's all that noise and so much torque. Oh man. And it really does still behave like a Ferrari, to be honest with you. Oh man, side slip angle control work. An absolute charm. The noise coming from this goal is so good. Just listen to that. Who cares if you've got all the horsepower in the world, and the way that you get it is sort of fairly noticeable. This is exciting in a car that's not really supposed to do this. It's supposed to be rather ordinary. It is just such a ball of laughter. Oh man. It's not meant to be driven like that. It's meant to be cruising with the roof down. And it's behaving like an absolute charm, eh? Seriously, there is something special about a car with an engine in front and the power at the back. Just that weight distribution. Who cares about, it's not the quickest setup. It's about the fun. It's about the aspect of enjoyment that the car offers you. It's been a lovely little excursion with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about Portofino M. Would you do this, or you say, nah, never, ever, ever. Very nice video, awesome exhaust, but Let me know down in the comments, because who knows? Maybe you might just change your mind between the Portofino M and the Roma. Which one would you take? We've created an exhaust in this car, I tell you, bar none. Alright, thank you so much for joining, guys. If you haven't yet, go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, hit that little notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new video. You can also follow us on Instagram, me personally at BeyondTheCock, or Novitec at Novitec Group. And if you want to see what kind of pieces or parts are available for your Portofino M, then feel free to go onto our website, www.novitecgroup.com. You can see all the goodies down there. Until next time, take care. Ciao.